Hello Seekers, those who chose pile number 2, the green jade. If by any chance you were drawn to this video before looking at the introduction, the link to the introduction is down below if you want to check out and choose any of the other piles presented. There were 3. But I don't believe in coincidence, so if you were brought here, maybe it's for a reason. And if you're pulled to this crystal or to these cards, then do stick around to find out what the message is. So I will be dividing this video into 3 segments. The first is going to be an intuitive message. Then we're going to be looking at the cards. And finally, we're going to be looking at these DIY charms that I took the time to make the other day. So if you're interested, please do stick around to the end. Okay, so let's begin with the intuitive message. So I took the time to sit down and connect with the energy of this pile. And the first thing I saw in my mind's eye when closing my eyes was a sword. Now, the first thing that popped up was cutting away with the past or insecurities, because I started to feel sort of doubts or this feeling of comparing myself to other people. So the sword for me represents that cutting of cords or cutting off the past, moving away from, just kind of like the Queen of Swords energy in the tarot, right? Being so blunt and just cutting away with all that does not resonate. Secondly, I felt a stabbing on the left side of my chest. It's almost close to the armpit. Felt like a pricking or a stabbing. So I relate this to the heart chakra, which is also pretty cool because we have the green jade here, and the green for me relates to the heart chakra. So I also felt this sense of being guarded, right? Putting on your guard, which could also relate to the sword, right? Protecting yourself, guarding yourself, not opening your heart. Maybe some of you who chose this pile have experienced some form of betrayal, or let's say relationships didn't end so well. And now you feel that you need to guard yourself, right? You feel you can't be as vulnerable as maybe you once were. And I also started feeling my left ear started ringing, getting kind of plugged. So it was just the message of there's something that you need to hear came up. Okay? So maybe for the same reason that you're not opening yourself or your heart space, you're not allowing yourself to really listen into your intuition or receive the messages that are being sent to you by the divine, by your higher self or your spirit guides, right? Because I did feel kind of this necessity of needing to hear a message. So the jade relates to the heart chakra, as I mentioned before. It also is a stone used in order to attract abundance and prosperity. This is also the good luck stone. And it also helps in facilitating access to divine energy, the natural flow of divine energy. So I feel that the message here is to possibly start letting your guard down. That if you do need to use that sword, use it to cut off the past. So don't use the sword to shield yourself or guard yourself or close yourself off, right? In fear that the past might resurface again. So instead of holding on to past experiences, cut those out and let them go. Use that sword to just cut those ties and those cords. And open yourself to new opportunities. Connect to your heart space. So you can attract that abundance. You can attract those new opportunities, and you can listen more to your intuition and to those messages that want to come in, because possibly something beautiful is coming in for you, but you can't really see it, right? Or get the messages in order to get you along your way towards it because you are guarded. Okay, so now let's look into the cards. Okay, so first we're going to start off with the tarot cards. Put to the side. And the first tarot card fell out was Ten of Vessels, happiness. Okay, so the Ten of Vessels, this has to do with what we were speaking of, complete abundance. And it's not just abundance financially, it's abundance emotionally, because water for me represents emotional energy. It is also for me a connection with spirit, with the divine. And you see this natural flow that we were speaking of. So it's the waterfall, it just reminds me of having that complete opening of the heart space, right? There's no restriction. There's just flow. It's complete flow. And that's where we get this sense of abundance, of just, you have so much and you just allow it to give, because love, that is not always tied just to romantic, just love is limitless. It's abundant. It's ever flowing. You are never limited in love. There's never no resources when it comes to love. It's continuous. It's eternal. Just like this waterfall. It just keeps on giving and giving and giving. And so it's that complete opening of the heart space. And once you are open, you are also able to receive. Just like you see how these cups are here. They're receiving also. And it's sharing with others as well. It's having so much of yourself that you can share yourselves with others without worrying about being depleted, because you are connected. You are truly connected with yourself, with the divine, that you're in just this continuous natural flow. So maybe it is that opening of the heart space of putting down your guard, being connected with your emotions, allowing your emotions to flow, for them not to be stagnant. Because when we don't allow our emotions to flow, when we do not acknowledge them or feel into them, then they get stuck, right? So we will get some like residue up here, and then the waterfall wouldn't be able to fall, and all the water would just get stuck here, right? And then we wouldn't be able to give and receive our abundance. So it's just asking you to open up your heart. And usually when we keep our emotions, we're also stuck in the same energy, right? So we're stuck in the past. We can move on forward, and we can live in our present. And if we can live in our present, then we can move on forward to our future, because we're stuck in our past instead. So it's asking you, let your past go. Like we mentioned before, use that sword that you're using to guard yourself, to cut away the past. Yeah, to cut away whatever is here, keeping, let's say if the water was stuck here, to cut that away, and cutting away the past and allowing just your emotions to completely flow out, right? To become that waterfall, that limitless being that you are. Yeah, so feel that is what is being asked of you to connect, because you are about to receive some form of abundance. And abundance, it can be in everything, like we said, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. It can be in health as well. Yeah. So let's look at the other card. We have the protection card. Yeah. Okay. So protection. We were speaking about being guarded and being protected. Now, there is a different energy. The protection card, if we look at it here, it's like this doe. And it looks like a very soft energy. But what is a little deceiving about this card is, okay, the doe is protected, she's shielded, she's in her comfort zone, right? But as we can see, this stone is completely covering the stars. Now the stars for me represent that divine energy. It's the cosmos. It's stars also like remind me of spirit guides, right? It's your wishes, it's your dreams. And see how this doe cannot see them. She cannot look up at the stars because she's just here in this space, shielded. She's shielded so much that she cannot look further on into all of the opportunities, into all of the wonder. And so that is what is, I feel, being asked of you to come out of that space. There is a difference between setting your boundaries and being in a protected space and completely cutting yourself off from everything else, right? Cutting yourself and being disconnected. guarding yourself so much can also be a form of self-sabotaging yourself. Because you're not experiencing the world completely. You're not experiencing yourself completely because you're not opening yourself to all the wonder. You're not opening your heart space. You're not connecting with it because you're so busy guarding it. It's just like I'm not allowing this waterfall to be the waterfall. So I do feel that at this moment you're being a little too guarded. And it gives you this illusion of being safe. But I feel Spirit is asking you to start moving away from that. Because all you're doing is being stuck in the same place. And there's so much more that awaits you. They're like kind of urgent for you to get moving because there's so much that they're ready to give you, to offer to you. But if you're here, then you're not accepting calls, you're not opening doors, and you cannot see all that abundance that is just waiting for you outside those doors. So it's this sense of false protection. Okay, so let's look at the oracle cards. We have the void here. Again, this for me represents that illusion. See how we have this hand here? That is a light hand, right? And it's supposedly, it looks like the light that is illuminating in this void. But what I see is that this light represents, again, this sense of false protection. And instead of just illuminating, it's actually just covering up the darkness. The darkness is being used instead as a form of distraction. So it's not really confronting the darkness, the problem, let's say, but it's just distracting away from it. It's like, ooh, look at this hand, look at this light, and you're not really looking at what it is that the problem is. So it's this feeling that you're guarding yourself, you're protecting yourself, you're not going forward, you're not accepting new opportunities in fear, let's say, right? And you think that is keeping yourself safe. But in reality, you're just distracting yourself from the real situation here. That is you being afraid to move on forward because you fear that you might fall back into the past, whatever that past is that hurt you. But you see, if you don't carry the past with you, then it does not have to present itself to you again in your present or in your future. Because if you do become this waterfall, you can simply just wash it away when it does come. So, when this happens, when there is something that you fear or that you feel it's haunting you, that is not allowing you to move forward, find a time or a space where you can really take the time for yourself and meditate on it or visualize it and just confront it. See it as it is. Because it's more in your mind now than in your physical reality. And face to face the fear. And just, just like this hand, just face to face and say no, no more. No more, and cut it off. Let go of it. And say, you know what? No, there's more to life than just the past, than just what happened. There's so much more waiting for me. And go on forward because there is much for you to grow. See, you're just like this baby doe, yet that there's so much more for you to experience and to live and to grow. You need more experiences in order to learn and grow as a spirit and as a being. The past isn't everything. What counts is your now. So do not distract yourself away from it. We have death. Death for here means transformation. It's letting go of the old, right? To being reborn into the new. It's being completely vulnerable and transparent and true. It's going deep into the bone of the matter. Like we mentioned here before, it's confronting those fears. So I feel sometimes we brush the past or things that scares us under the carpet. We distract ourselves from it, and we think that that's moving away from it, that's us healing. But that's just distracting. That's just putting it away somewhere. Like when you clean the house and you put everything in that one room or in that one closet, and it's not really cleaning the mess because the mess is still there in your house. It's just in one certain place, right? So when you open that closet, you open the room, you're bombarded with all that chaos, with all that mess, and you don't want that. You just don't want that in your home. So clean up everything. Face it. It's going to be a bit burdensome, or it's just going to feel like a little too much, but it's better to clean it now, to face it, to be transparent with yourself, and and finish with it. Clean it out. Face it face to face. And so that you can move on forward, you can clean that mess and be that waterfall. So you see how the rose here is, the petals are finally falling. It's like allowing for that to finally die. Because once this flower dies, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the end. It means that it gives opportunity for a new flower to be born. For a new chapter, for a new life. And this is that transformation. Yes, and we have perseverance here, which perseverance is moving forward. It's moving forward with this strong energy, sometimes stubborn, but it's being that bullheaded energy, is completely moving on forward. And this reminds me of the moon, and it's being connected with your intuition. See how the bull is white? It's that pure energy. It's not being dulled or stained by any insecurities or doubt. It's just pure intention. And it's moving on with that intention. So it's asking you, have that intention to move on forward, to say no more to the past and move on forward into your new reality, because you create your new reality. So why live in the past and something that has hurt you? It's persevere. Keep on persevering, because there's something beautiful waiting for you. See, this is one scenery. If the doe moved away from this spot, he or she would move on to this other scenery, this beautiful scenery here, to this waterfall. But in order to get here, this little doe has to move away from this spot, from this space. And I feel that they're telling you, once you put that intention to move on forward, right, to come out of that comfort zone, to come out of the past, you will be guided. You will be guided and led. Once you start believing yourself, opening to your heart, and listening to your intuition more, connecting with that, you will be led to this abundance. Because that's what I feel is waiting for you this spring. This new opportunity, this abundance, be it emotional, financial, and health. It's just complete, utter freedom. Yay. And we have the vulnerability card here. So it's that opening of the heart that we were saying. It's being completely vulnerable. Yeah, it's having your heart on your soft palm and not being afraid to show who you are. It's offering your love unconditionally, without any fear. Like this waterfall offers its water without any fear or without asking for anything in return. because it's just its nature to be this waterfall, to be this free being and ever flowing and ever eternal. And just being itself, just being completely free, gives to it some sense, just gives it life. So what I feel is coming to you this spring is this opportunity to finally be free, to finally be vulnerable and be yourself, to move out of this space that you've been here for a while. That maybe you felt a little insecure or a little not vulnerable but weak, let's say. And it's telling you you are not weak. Your vulnerability and being soft and being kind-hearted and being loving is not weakness. If someone took advantage of you in the past or hurt you because you were this little doe, you were this kind, beautiful being, you were vulnerable, that was just part of the past. Maybe that was just there to teach you not to close yourself up, but to place your boundaries. But to place your boundaries and to also understand that you must also give to yourself and not just only to others. But whatever the situation is, they're asking you to please persevere and move on forward. Because the universe has so much waiting for you. And it's a beautiful thing because once you open your heart, once you're in that space of being yourself, of being vulnerable, of speaking your truth, of living in your truth, of being completely transparent, and being that beautiful you, then things just naturally come to you. Beautiful things that are also open like you, that are also vulnerable and kind-hearted, that are also willing to give to you without asking for anything in return. Yeah, so that's what I feel is coming to you this spring. This opportunity to be you, to be abundant, to be free is freedom, truly is freedom. And if you're doubting it, your guides are telling you it's time to move on forward. It's time to persevere. If you were feeling like this was it, that there wasn't anything better for you, this is telling you no. Please move on forward because there's such beautiful things waiting for you. And we're waiting for you to get there. So please don't be distracted. Don't be distracted by the past. Don't be distracted by your fears. It's normal for you to have fears, but don't live in them. Don't be distracted by them. Don't feed into them. Instead of being this empty hand here, live with your heart on your palm. And that's just meaning be you. Be you. Be that kind you. And not so much for the world, because usually people say, oh, we need more people like you, kind people. The world needs you, and it's true, but be kind and beautiful and be that soft-hearted person, but be it for you, for that inner child, for that child that's in you, that is waiting for you to move on forward to better things. Show that inner kid within you the stars. Don't keep her in the dark anymore. Go show her the stars. Go show her the world. She's ready to explore, or he's ready to explore. Don't keep her locked up at home. Let her be that little explorer. Let him be that little explorer. Go explore the world. Persevere. Move on forward. And don't let anybody tear you down. Because you have some dreams. You have this pull, and it's your heart, because you have such a big heart. And it's that pull, if you feel that pull within you, and if it hurts you to have such a calling within you, when you feel that the world has been lousy to you, it's for a reason. It's because there's something waiting for you, so don't doubt it. Don't give up. Please don't give up, because there's such beautiful things waiting for you. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on this beautiful child that is within you. Let her see the world. Let him or her explore. Yeah, open your heart. Be you. Be the beautiful you. I think that's what's coming to you this spring. I know it's not something that you can physically see or that I can explain to you in that way, but this in itself is beautiful because it's coming into yourself. It's finally being free. And they're presenting to you that opportunity. More than that, they're giving you that support. They're telling you, please, please, please persevere and move on forward. Please open your heart. Don't be afraid to be you, because that would be so catastrophic. Yeah. Okay, so that is your message. Thanks for watching this reading. Now we will be moving on to the charms. If you wish to stick around, please do. Okay. Hello and welcome to the charm segment of this video. So thank you for sticking around. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. We have the little charms here, and we have this painting of the moon. Okay, so whatever charms fall inside the moon are things that are going to manifest in your physical reality this spring, right? So things that you will be able to have control over and see. Whatever falls in the aura of the moon are things that you will be calling in or that you are manifesting, that are around your energetical space, but that you can't fully, let's say, it's not fully tangible yet. It's just you're calling it in, right? And whatever falls here, and the stars in the void, is things that are being worked on in the background. So it's things that are a bit out of your control because the universe has complete control over them, and they're helping you with that, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? So now let's look at the chart. Let's see what falls. Message for pile 2 coming this spring. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, we have this. Okay, let's see. So around the aura we have the 4-leaf clover. Okay. First, let's start off with the 4-leaf clover. So what you'll be pulling in this spring, what you are attracting or manifesting, is luck. The 4-leaf clover reminds me of luck. So it just reminded me of that abundance card, the 10 of Cups. So it's just having, when everything clicks for a person and it just happens out of nowhere like that, like winning the lottery, that's the kind of feeling or the energy you're pulling in. It's like everything all of a sudden is going to click. It's like if that waterfall was dry and all of a sudden the water just comes pouring in and all of your cups are suddenly filled. That's the energy I'm getting. And now realize that the 4-leaf clover, of course, it's the color green. Now the color green, it's that heart chakra energy that we were speaking of. So it's opening yourself. So once I feel that you do open your heart space, you connect to your heart chakra, you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give yourself that opportunity to move on forward, which you can. That's why you're manifesting, because you will. That's why it's coming in, because you're working on it. This luck, this sudden luck of winning the lottery, this abundance is just gonna pour in. It's just gonna be, you're gonna be called that lucky person. And it's nothing going to be do with luck. It's just going to be with, because you put in the work, because you believed in yourself, because you opened yourself to the universe. It's opening, again, it's like opening yourself to the universe. So all this can flow in. All that is meant for you can finally flow in, and you can receive it, because I feel that's what your guides or the universe is trying to tell you. It's like there's so much waiting for you. We're waiting for you to open up so that we can give it to you, because we're eager to give it to you, because you deserve this. This is yours. So that's what you are calling in, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so next we have here, let's look at this one. So this, flip it over like this. Okay, so this was being worked on in the background by the universe. They're working with you. Remember that, they're working for you. Is this the ending of the moon cycle? Right, the ending of the moon, the last moon phase. So what this just represents for me is just that ending of a cycle. It's that closing of a chapter. It's finally letting go of the past, leaving the past behind, so you can enter a new cycle, right? So then it can be this, the new moon. At the moment, they're working with you on closing that cycle of letting go of the past, so you can enter into this abundance, because that's your new chapter. This is your new phase. All this beauty and abundance, this love, this opening of the heart space. Now I say love because we have this hand with the little heart. I have the other pairing around here. There's supposed to be 2 hearts like this. So this is 1/2, right? So what this means to me, what I had in mind when I created this, is a love offer. That is being worked for you in the background. So it's someone here who is going to offer you this deep connection, who is going to offer you like a cup. You know, in the cups, when they offer a cup, is offering you love, offering you emotional support. It's this connection. Now, if the other hand was here, for me, it would be symbolizing you accepting this connection. But since we have it here in the void, it's in the background still, it's in the works, this is just telling you that the universe is working to bring, if you're asking for that, right? If your inner child, let's say, if you have always been wanting that deep emotional love connection, where you can truly be that vulnerable person that you are without any fear, and you can receive as much as you are given, and it could be a reciprocal love, and it's equilibrated love, equal love, then that's what the universe is pulling in for you. This person. If it's not romantic, well, this one I made in mind to be romantic. It can be a friendship, a partnership of any sorts, but I do feel it to be romantic. That's why I'm talking about all this luck and abundance. It's calling in all of that your heart desires and wants. I feel that this person, it's like it's this, but the universe is working for you. This one person is the person that is meant for you. But it's like, again, they were just waiting for you to fully open up, to open up your heart again, to not be afraid of receiving, because then they can bring in this person in for you with this offer. And again, the universe respects free will. So then it will be up to you whether you want to accept this or not. But the offer will be there for you. This person will come in with this beautiful offer. And it's authentic and it's genuine and it comes from the heart space. And it is compatible with you. It is a true connection. And we see here direction. With the compass from you represents direction. So I don't know, I was thinking like they're either guiding this person right towards you, giving its direction, or what's coming in once you start opening your heart, when you start opening yourself to receiving these, let's say, signs, or remember we're talking about that intuition, following your intuition. I told you that once you do allow yourself to move on forward, to leave that safe space or that comfort zone, you will be guided to that waterfall, to the 10 of Cups, to the abundance. And so once you start doing that, the directions, right, the guide, the compass will start spinning. Then they will get you moving to where you are meant to be, to receive all of this abundance, to maybe meet this person, to meet halfway. You will start receiving what they call those synchronicities or those signs. You will be guided. And right here we have the color palette to paint, which is pretty cool because the blank canvas also came up, and I drew the color palette with all the chakras in mind, and we have here the infinity symbol, right, the eternal. So this, to me, I drew it representing yourself being completely open, all of your chakras being open and completely aligned with the divine, with the cosmos, in order to create the life that you want to live. And I say that's pretty cool because we have the blank canvas here, and the blank canvas is that infinite potential. It's you taking control of your life and painting the life, creating the life that you want to live. So the universe is giving you the opportunity to just create the life that you want, to paint it in the colors that you want. It's using your own energy, being aligned with the cosmos, working with the cosmos. That's why we have all of these charms that fell out here. It's not a bad thing because it means that you're working with the universe and the universe is working with you. The universe is always working with you, but this is you yourself allowing that connection, that deep connection, and surrendering to it, being vulnerable and knowing that the universe is helping you out. And when you're in that, because we ourselves are, we come from the universe. We are the universe. And so when we're connected with our true self, when we're truly aligned, then we are limitless. We are infinite. We can create our realities because we can create our realities, but it's just allowing us to fully understand that and accept that and know that so that we can paint now our lives and make it how we want it to be and not be afraid to be our true authentic selves and show our colors. And it's just that. So it's no longer being that or feeling like that weak little doe, like you don't have the power, like you need to shield yourself and close yourself away from the world. Now it's opening yourself completely, working with the universe, opening your heart to receiving that love that you've always wanted, because I feel that you have always wanted that deep connection, romantic connection, and using your color palette to paint that beautiful image, that beautiful dream that you want and manifest it into your physical reality. All this is working. The universe is helping you out with this because you will be working with the universe and bringing that in. So this is all that is happening that will be worked in the background in spring. And you will be calling this beautiful abundance in. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty magical. Yeah. This is being in your power. So it's love, financial abundance, emotional abundance. It's being free, like I mentioned before. It's that freedom. It's knowing yourself, your power, not being afraid to be who you are, to show all your colors and paint the world. Yeah, so that's all I have for you, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading, all segments of it, and I do hope it resonated with you. If you liked the reading, please like the video and subscribe if you want. And if it resonated, please leave a comment down below if you're called to do so. Until next time, see you.